Welcome to my channel, Reiki.Love.Healing. If you're new to my channel, come on in, hang out with me for a little bit. Just going to do some Reiki healing energy. For those of you who are hyper independent and carry a lot of responsibility without any support, this Reiki healing is to help you to relax and calm your nervous system and to understand that you don't have to go on without any support. There's always help somewhere. So this is for those of you who have had to figure things out from the time you were young, and as an adult, you're always the one who's taking care of everyone, and you're tired of always being the rescuer, and you just want someone to come help you out. Right? Sometimes we need help. We need support. We need someone to take the weight off of our shoulders. But when you're so used to having to figure everything out on your own, it's hard to ask other people for help. And even when people offer, it can be challenging to accept help from other people. Right? That could be challenging. Hi there, welcome. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm doing a quick Reiki healing for people who are always having to figure things out on their own. If you're hyper independent and you're the person who's always having to figure everything out on your own, this Reiki healing is for you. So you can just relax and enjoy, and just try to let go of any stress or anxiety that you've been feeling from having to do everything on your own. I know how hard that can be, especially when you have people who rely on you and it feels like you never get a break, or you never have enough money, or you never have enough time. You can sit back and relax. And also be proud of yourself that if you had to figure things out on your own since the time you were a child, some of us have had that kind of upbringing where we had to figure things out on our own from the time we were kids. Be proud of yourself for how far you've come. But it doesn't mean that you have to continue that way. I know sometimes it's hard when people do ask you if you need help. Hey, can I carry that bag for you? Can I open the door for you? We're so quick to say, no, I'm good. But once in a while, say yes, help me. Thank you. Oh, help me carry the bags. Oh, thank you. Picasso, thank you so much. Hi, PYK. Welcome to my channel. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a live or any of my videos. This week, I'm talking about being hyper independent, always having to figure things out on your own. And when you're hyper independent, you're the rescuer. You're the one who everyone goes to for help. And it feels like you never get a break. But tonight, while you're here, just try to get comfortable and relax. Relax your shoulders. If you feel any tightness, relax your jaw. Sometimes we clench our jaw and we're trying to hold it all together. And just relax. It's not always easy being the strong one. Sometimes we want people to come rescue us, but we don't know how to accept help when it's being offered, and that's what you got to learn to do, is to accept the help when it's being offered. I need a new sage stick. It's going down. Gotta get a new one. Hi there. Welcome. If you're new to my channel, come on in. Hang out for a little bit. Relax. If you've had a hectic day or a hectic week. there. Welcome. Welcome to my channel. How's everyone doing? Welcome. Come on in and relax and enjoy this Reiki healing. Trying to light up my sage stick. Looks like I need a new one. It's all burnt. Kind of hard to light up. Oh, I just put out my candle. Trying to light this and light it back up. Nice. I hope this Reiki healing was beneficial to you. Maybe you've been having to carry the weight of responsibility on your own for such a long time. And that can be stressful, especially when you don't have any support around you. It can be very stressful. This week, talking about hyperindependence on my Substack. So if you're interested in that, learning more about it and how can you heal from it, right? What are some ways that you can get out of survival mode and being hyper independent and always being the one who has to figure everything out or who has to rescue everyone? Sometimes it could be hard saying no because you could be dealing with family, and sometimes they can make you feel guilty, right? And then you feel bad and you're like, oh, I gotta help them out. Um, but sometimes you need to set boundaries for yourself and take time out for you so that you're not always saying yes to things that you really want to say no to. I just pulled a card out, and Spirit says, healing away addictions. Okay. And what that means is letting go of behavior patterns that are blocking us from our heart's desires. So sometimes we get stuck in these patterns that we're so familiar with, patterns that were set from the time we were young. And we don't realize we're following these patterns. And those patterns aren't helping you right now. And I feel like there's like someone here needs to heal from their past. There's some healing that needs to happen. It could be from childhood, it could be from a past relationship, but there is some healing that needs to happen. And I get that this situation can be very emotional. This situation carries a lot of emotion, and it's time to let it go because it's sort of attached to you and it's just attracting more situations that replicate that behavior pattern that is not serving you. So sometimes it can be like saying yes when you really need to be saying no, helping someone out when you don't have the finances to do that. If someone asks you for money to help them pay a bill, but you might need money for your own bills. So it could be those patterns that make you feel guilty about saying no. So work on those patterns, whatever they are, and don't feel guilty about putting yourself first. That's something that we were taught at a young age. Sometimes we're not taught to love ourselves. We're not taught to have confidence in ourselves. And we grow up to be people pleasers. And sometimes that can happen, and we neglect our own needs to take care of other people. But you cannot be shy about putting yourself first sometimes. So, whatever those behavior patterns are, if you can identify them. If not, work with someone. It could be a therapist, it could be a coach, it could be a mentor. Find someone who can help you work through those behavior patterns and recognizing them, what they are, so you know what to let go. Sometimes we're scared to ask for help. because we think it's going to come with something negative, you know, and we don't ask for help when we need it. And that creates more stress and anxiety. And sometimes it could cause you to lose focus on the things that you're trying to do, the things that you're trying to fix. So, learn to, because I'm getting ear chakra. And so, with the ear chakra, with that message, it's about you're blocking any messages that are coming in. Messages that, like, some, you could be praying about something, and then a message comes in to answer your prayer, and then you kind of ignore it and you don't follow. So listen to the messages. It could be that you're passing by people that are having a conversation, or like you overhear a conversation and it's related to your issue. That could be a sign. Or when you get in your car and you put the radio on and a song pops up, that could be a sign. So pay attention to those signs, those messages that come in when you're being guided, and listen to them and know that those are the answers to your prayers, whatever you're praying about. You might even receive messages in your dreams. So pay attention to that. I tend to get messages a lot in my dreams. Sometimes they show up, no, all the time. When it's something really important, they always show up as an animal. And anytime I dream about an animal, I always look it up to see, okay, what message is this trying to tell me? And it always is a warning. It's always a warning that's trying to keep me safe. So I like that. Also, when we're struggling with hyperindependence, especially if you were a child and you were left to have to deal with things on your own, sometimes it was dealing with your emotions on your own. We tend to grow up and sometimes be insensitive to things, or we don't express our emotions because as a child you were taught to that your emotions were not important, right? And this is part of what contributes to hyper independence. And so it's coming through emotional sensitivity. And this could be that either you're very emotional and you're struggling right now to control those emotions because of whatever it is that you're going through, or it could be the complete opposite, that you're holding everything in, which is typical of people who are hyper independent. We tend to hold things in because you're on the go, you're constantly on the go, and you don't have time to stop and feel or acknowledge like how you're feeling. So sometimes you're just on the go and you sweep your own feelings under the rug and you don't address them. And what happens is over time that builds up. And then one day you just explode and no one understands where all this is coming from. And it's because for so long you've been bottling up your emotions because you have so much responsibility on your shoulders. And it could be too much. It could be too much. And so Spirit is saying that, honor that sensitivity. Sometimes it's good to have a good cry, you know, if you're feeling emotional, rather than you just ignore it and keep working, sometimes you do have to stop and take a moment and just process those emotions and have a good cry if you need to. Just get it all out. It's never good to hold anything in. Never good to hold anything in. So, And that tends to happen when you're hyper independent and you're constantly on the go and you don't have a support system, you don't have anyone to talk to. You're so busy that you don't even have time to make an appointment with someone who you could talk to. So take the time out for that. Don't feel guilty about taking time out to address the things that you need for yourself. Also, there's past life issues that are coming up. So that confirms that whatever struggles you have right now could be related to childhood, something from the past. And it could go as far back as childhood, or maybe it could be just a past relationship that you were dealing with. But definitely, there is some past issue that is coming up right now. And it's important that you address that and resolve that issue so that you're able to learn and heal from this past experience and so that you don't have to repeat it again. Because if we don't learn from our past experiences, we will always repeat them again in a different situation or with a different person. So pay attention to that. That's very important. All right, let's see if there's any last messages here. Any other last messages that you have for us? Okay. Third eye chakra. Third eye chakra. So, third eye chakra, which is right here, is connected to intuition, intellect, and reasoning. And this is about seeking only the truth. And sometimes, in order to seek the truth, you kind of have to see it from a different perspective. You have to learn to detach from the situation or the experience, because that's what happens. That sometimes we experience something, like if you had a rough childhood and you were left to figure things out on your own, and then it ends up coming out later in life and you're hyper independent and you're having to figure things out and you're stuck in survival mode and you're just stuck in this negative pattern. Sometimes we have to look at a situation from a different perspective and understand the lesson that it's trying to teach us. And the third eye teaches us to not take it personal, but to see it as a lesson, a learning lesson that is important for your personal growth. So that's what the third eye chakra is, tries to help you understand. It's also connected to intuition. And so with that, intuition can help you to have discernment with situations. It protects you from dangerous situations. So it's also super important that you learn to listen to your intuition and the messages that it's giving you, because it's trying to protect you from something. So that is the third eye. So pay attention to that, and listen to your intuition. And if there is a situation that you're facing that is challenging, understand that with the third eye, it's trying to help you to detach from that situation and see the truth of it. What is this really trying to tell you? Sometimes we get involved in a relationship with someone and we base our value on how that person feels about us. And you might be in that relationship and that person treats you horribly. And the point of that relationship, and it could be painful, especially when you have a breakup, but the point of that relationship is to teach you to value yourself and you have to value yourself and not base your value on how someone else feels about you. There's always a learning lesson in everything. Okay. So I hope you've enjoyed this Reiki healing and this quick chakra message. And if you're new to my channel, welcome, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my videos. All right, guys, I will check you out at the next video.